When I told people I was essentially becoming an intern at 41 instead of going back to school, they thought I was crazy. But this unconventional strategy, working for free while learning on my own, is how I successfully changed careers without earning a degree. After 20 years as a fashion buyer, I found myself writing blog posts for other websites for free. It was humbling and financially terrifying, but it turned out to be the fastest path to my new career as a content writer. Hey there, I'm Valerie. I'm the creator of this channel, Oh Hello Midlife, where I help midlife moms master life changes mindfully. If you're new here, hi, I'm a 46-year-old mom of two working full time as a content writer and caring for my aging parents. This is the third video in my Career Change After 40 series. In the first video, I shared how my initial career change failed because I didn't do the proper research. In the second video, I explained how building a digital thumbprint, also known as building an online presence, became the foundation of my successful transition. If you haven't watched those, I'll link them in the description below. Today, we are talking about the step most midlife career changers resist: gaining actual experience in your new field without going back to school. For me, that meant embracing what I call the over 40 internship mindset. After being laid off from my buying job during the pandemic, I knew it was time to pursue a profession in the digital world. So I made a pivot as a content writer. I'd built my blog as I explained in my last video, but I had zero professional writing experience. I looked into getting a degree in communications and journalism, but the programs would take 2 to 3 years and would cost tens of thousands of dollars. At 41, with my family to support, that just wasn't realistic. I needed a faster, more affordable path. That's when I made the decision that changed everything. I decided to create my own internship experience. So, like an intern would, I started searching online, like on Indeed and Monster. Finally, I found a post on LinkedIn from an up and coming content creator who needed guest bloggers for her fashion and beauty blog. I answered the post and pitched a few topic ideas that would align with her content and leverage my existing knowledge, specifically how to land a job in the retail industry. To my surprise and delight, she agreed to let me write one article. She loved the idea and thought it would be a fresh topic to introduce to her readers. What really sold her was that I had real life industry experience that would give the article some authority. I was upfront with her though. I shared that I was pivoting careers and learning how to blog, but I would do my best to produce an article that was engaging and would drive traffic to her blog. She thanked me for my honesty and happily gave me a shot. See what happened there? I was upfront where I was in my professional writing journey, and it paid off. I successfully managed her expectations, but my second goal was to deliver the article above and beyond her expectations. So I spent hours researching on search engine optimization, all the best practices. I studied her blog content and I crafted the article. When I submitted it to her, I was terrified. I was scared that I didn't write it in the correct format and tone, but I didn't get a lot of revisions back. So that was the bit of confidence that I needed to help me continue to pitch for other articles and the reassurance that I was on the right path. But trust me, I didn't stay too long in that celebratory mode or thinking that I've got this. I still faced plenty of rejections and rewrites later down the road. But did you catch that sneaky little strategy I used for my first pitch? I leveraged my previous fashion retail experience. I didn't just pitch any topic. I pitched something I knew I could write with ease, allowing me to focus on other aspects of the writing process, which was still new to me. But at least I didn't have to worry about researching what to write about because I had almost 20 years of real life experience to draw from. So for the next few months, I continue to look for free guest writing or ghost writing opportunities, using the same approach, leveraging my previous background or knowledge at some capacity. Each piece helped me improve my skills. Each piece of feedback that I received was a lesson I couldn't have gotten in a classroom. Eventually, around the fourth month from my first article, I landed a paying gig. Thanks to the online portfolio of my written work that helped me earn my spot as a freelance writer. Remember, working for free isn't exactly free. You're gaining experience, building your portfolio, and establishing credibility. Those are valuable forms of payment when you're changing careers without a degree. So I'll be honest with you, the hardest part of this approach is that it can take a hit to your ego. After 2 decades as a senior professional in the fashion industry, I was back at square one. I was working for free, making rookie mistakes and receiving feedback from people that were younger than me. There were moments when I questioned everything. I remember sitting in front of my computer after receiving no replies back or rejections to article pitches and saying to myself, what am I doing? I used to manage $1 million budgets. Now I'm struggling to write a blog article about Christmas gifts for toddlers. The ego challenge is real. And it's why many midlife career changers give up or decide to spend money on degrees instead. A degree feels safer, more legitimate. It follows the traditional path and doesn't require you to put yourself in a vulnerable position where you put your work out there to be rejected. But let me be clear, if you are pivoting into a profession that legally requires you to have credentials like becoming a nurse practitioner, a lawyer, a therapist, then yes, going back to school is a non-negotiable. But for many creative, technical, and business roles, formal education isn't always necessary. If you're looking to make a change where online courses and certifications can help provide the technical knowledge you need, I strongly suggest going down that road rather than investing so many years into another degree. Timing is critical when it comes to changing careers at 40. You can't afford to spend this precious resource because you think a degree will somehow legitimize you more than actual experience will. In my experience, real life on-the-job learning is not only more time efficient, but often more valuable to potential employers. They want to see what you can do, not just what you know in theory. But here's what I learned through this process. That vulnerability of being a beginner again is precisely where growth happens. Every piece of feedback, every rejection, every revision made me better in ways that theoretical knowledge couldn't. Each challenging moment built not just my skills, but my resilience. I had to let go of my ego and my identity as an expert and embrace being a novice again. That mental shift was possibly the most difficult, but most important part in my career changing journey. So, how did I manage that ego challenge? By consciously adopting what I call the internship mindset. Instead of seeing myself as a laid off mid career professional trying to start over again, I reframed my situation as a self created internship experience. The difference seems subtle, but completely transformed my approach. An intern isn't expected to know everything. An intern is there to learn, to observe, and to absorb, and to try new things, sometimes fail. An intern approaches tasks with curiosity rather than the pressure to be perfect. This mindset gave me permission to be a beginner again. It removed the shame of not immediately excelling and replaced it with expectations of growth. Here's how I applied the internship mindset in 3 practical ways. First, I became incredibly coachable. When I received feedback, instead of defensively explaining my choices, I asked questions to understand what wasn't working and how I can improve. Second, I created learning goals for myself, just like a structured internship program would. Each month, I focused on mastering a specific skill. SEO research 1 month, headline creation another, storytelling after. Third, after learning the fundamentals of content writing, I wanted to hone in on specific skills. So I sought out a certification of SEO from a reputable SaaS company. I studied day and night, just like a student, while still managing a household, raising kids. This targeted education was strategic. Instead of spending years on a broad degree, I focused on the exact skills that would make me more valuable. This mindset was far more effective than any degree program would have given me because it was entirely focused on practical application. I wasn't learning theory to apply someday. I was learning directly through the work. Hey, so if you're enjoying this approach to changing careers without going back to school, please hit the like button and give me a thumbs up. It helps others find this content. And honestly, it will give me the boost of confidence I need to continue to make videos for you. So you might be thinking, this sounds great, Valerie, but where do I exactly find internship opportunities when I'm over 40? So let me share my strategy for finding opportunities that provided maximum learning with a path towards paid work. I leverage existing connections. I started by reaching out to everyone in my network who engaged with my content, who was in the marketing role at any aspect. And instead of asking them for a job, I asked them for a 30-minute informational interview. Second, I use my digital thumbprint strategically. Remember that blog that I shared in the last video? I made sure to share a post every single time on LinkedIn or on Instagram. This demonstrated my developing skills in content writing. And then that's actually how people contacted me on future opportunities. Third, I started with adjacent skills. I didn't immediately jump into sophisticated technical content. I started with topics where my retail background gave me credibility, and this helped make the learning curve less steep. Remember, the advantage we have as midlifers is our extensive knowledge and experience. Leveraging this depth in our new field by strategically connecting our past experiences with our future direction, this type of blending, it makes us more valuable and what makes you stand out for a job role in a way that younger professionals simply can't match. Your decades of experience isn't something to hide or apologize for. They're your competitive edge in your new career. But here's the key. I was very selective on my unpaid opportunities. I only chose ones that provided expert feedback that I could learn from, offered potential path towards paid work, built a specific skill that I needed to learn, resulted in published work with my name on it, and connected me with valuable industry contacts. This wasn't about working for free indefinitely. It was about strategically using unpaid work as a springboard to paid opportunities. Free projects had a clear purpose. It helped me build my credibility and portfolio. The over 40 internship approach isn't easy. It requires humility, persistence, and willingness to be uncomfortable. But it's a more powerful alternative than going back to school. By creating your own hands-on learning experiences, you're not just gaining skills, you're proving to potential employers that you can deliver on results. A degree might open some doors, but demonstrating experience opens even more. Every client testimony, every published piece, every successful project becomes evidence of your capabilities in a way that theoretical knowledge just simply can't match. If I could go back and give my newly laid off self some piece of advice, it would be this: embrace being a beginner again, but bring your experienced professional work ethic and strategic thinking to the table. This is the unique advantage that we have as midlife career changers. I know sharing this advice is one thing, but actually remembering it in those challenging moments is another. So that's why I created a daily affirmation that became my mantra through this journey. Every step forward is valuable, and mastery is a journey, not a destination. This simple reminder helped me stay grounded when imposter syndrome would creep up or when progress felt slow. If you like to hear this affirmation and others designed specifically for career changers, listen to my podcast, Mindful Life Changes, and listen to episode 36. This really helped ground me in my path towards becoming a beginner again and not focused on so much the destination, but enjoying the progress. So in our next and final video in this series, I talk about the reality of timeline and finances during this career change after 40. Because the path isn't always straight, but being prepared for obstacles makes all the difference. Hey, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you tried gaining experience in a new field without formal education? What worked for you? Or are you just starting out? What questions do you have for me? Share in the comments below and I'll do my best to reply back to all of them. If you're considering a career change after 40, remember that you don't need to go back to school to succeed. The internship mindset we talked about today can be your alternative path to gaining legitimate experience. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.